All right, so basically this video is going to be the exact steps that I took to go from 0 to 25K a month as a 19-year-old living in some nice ass crib. You can just copy the steps and make money yourself, but you are going to need an attention span. You are going to need to focus. If you can't focus for literally less than an hour, you're cooked beyond repair. You can't make any money online. So make sure that you're ready, lock in, focus, pay attention, take this information in and use it to make money online. With that being said, let's get right into the training. So if you landed on this video, chances are you've had that spark of ambition. Seeing people your age make money online has lit a fire inside of you and you're ready to start. You've got that drive and ambition. Making a doctor's salary from your laptop suddenly seems possible and maybe even easy. If you are someone that is trying to even just make their first $1,000 online, I know what that feels like all too well. Believe me, I have tried all the vehicles, business models, and methods that you know of, and some more that you don't even know of. And each one left me more confused and still broke. Until one day, I learned one important skill which landed me a $120K a month client who needed my help starting a new business from the ground up. As you can see, messages with real people here. And that's when I discovered a truth that I wish someone told me way back when I was starting, or in other words, in your current position. And once I discovered this truth, which I will tell you shortly, things started to ramp up for me. I was able to get more clients. I started to get payout after payout after payout after payout every single day, and I was able to scale to 25K a month. Now, the truth that I discovered is that we are entering a new era. You see, traditional business says that money follows products or services, when in reality, there is always one thing that is behind both of those things even existing, and that is information. Businesses are changing, the way that we learn is changing, and the way you make money online is about to change forever. And experts are calling this new era the info gold rush. So the goal of this training is very, very simple. I'm going to take you from a complete lost beginner with drive and ambition that you don't know what to do with, to knowing exactly what to do to make your first $1,000 online. Because once you make the first 1,000, 5,000 becomes way easier. And once you make 5,000, 10,000 becomes easier, and it snowballs and you become really, really successful. We will be diving deep into this info gold rush, and we will be talking about info selling, the business model that leverages this new gold rush and produced my own results, which you saw above, and also helped many others as well, like Mo, who was able to make 4,263 in less than 8 weeks with info selling. Now stick with me, because at the end of this training, I'm going to be making a special offer to the next 5 people that watch this training and are actually ready to start implementing it into their lives right now. Now, without further talk, let's get started. First thing we're going to be talking about is the beginner-friendly lie. When you're a complete beginner, it can be really difficult to find the right vehicle for you to start making money with. The problem is that although you have the drive and ambition, if I was to just hand you a laptop and say, make me $1,000 as fast as possible, you would literally have no idea what to do, where to start, or how the money would even hit the account in the first place. So let me let you in on a little secret. The fastest way for any beginner to make money online is not by starting your own business. It's by leveraging other people's businesses. Why? Well, because when you try to start your own business from scratch, you're responsible for everything: product creation, proof of concept, fulfillment, marketing, customer support, operations, amongst a plethora of other things. And that's a huge learning curve and a very slow path to cash. But when you leverage someone else's already existing business, the offer is already proven, the infrastructure is already set up, and the business already has cash flow. You don't have to spend time picking a niche. You don't have to build an audience. All you have to do is plug yourself in, add value, and get paid fast. It's like stepping onto a moving train instead of trying to build your own from scratch. Now, when you're choosing what vehicle or business model or method to get you to your desired destination, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, as a complete beginner, you should be only focusing on 3 things. Is there a high barrier to entry to this business? Can I make money fast with it? And is it beginner friendly? Of course. And that's the problem with most online business vehicles people try to sell you. Sure, they work. Dropshipping works. SMMA works. Digital products work. There are 101 ways to make $10,000 a month. But the problem is that these things are not beginner friendly. They have high barriers to entry, and they take a while to actually see money with. They require skills, capital, proof of concept, and months, sometimes even years of trial and error before you see a dime. And that's why beginners get stuck spinning their wheels. They pick the wrong entry point into the online business world. I'm going to give you an analogy. Is it possible for you to just wake up tomorrow and decide to start your own plumbing business? No, it's not. You would first need to learn the basics of plumbing through some kind of education, and then would need experience working in another person's plumbing business. Now, this would not only allow you to gather the knowledge necessary to start your own plumbing business down the line, but you would start making money a lot faster. In the same way, it is much wiser for beginners to leverage other people's businesses to start making money and gaining experience. Now, the main difference between plumbing and online business, however, is that online business is a lot faster to get into and makes way more money. So by now you're probably thinking, well, I understand leveraging other businesses is faster, but what business should I leverage? And how do I even make money in the first place? Well, we're going to be answering both questions in this training, but to answer the first one, we will be diving deep into the new era that we're living in right now, the info gold rush. So explaining the info gold rush. We're living through one of the biggest economic shifts in history. For decades, the economy was built on products and services. Companies made things, shipped things, and fixed things. If you wanted to make money, you sold a physical product or you sold your time in the form of a service. But then the internet matured and social media exploded. And then suddenly something crazy happened. Attention became currency. People started building audiences, educating on what they were good at. And once they had attention, they realized something. You don't need to invent the next iPhone to make millions and millions of dollars. You just need to sell what you already know. And that's when the information economy, or the info gold rush, was born. Instead of companies selling stuff, creators started selling information in the form of courses, mentorships, coaching, and digital products. And you've seen it. YouTubers selling programs, TikTokers dropping courses, and influencers launching communities. And this is not something that's slowing down at all. It is accelerating. We're just at the beginning. Online education is $1 billion industry. I'm not even joking. You can look that up yourself. Now, why is this such a huge opportunity? Well, because of the very first law of all business that you probably learned in your high school economic class, supply and demand. There is an infinite demand for information. Everyone wants to make money, but nobody knows how. They want a solution to this problem. They don't want to go through the trial and error figuring it out themselves. And luckily, there are a ton of people who have made money online the hard way. They have the information that a lot of people wish they had and would pay a lot of money for. And the crazy part is information is an infinite supply. Information will never die out. It's in people's minds. It cannot be taken from you, and it can never run out. You can never unlearn how to drive a car. It's always in your head and in your memory. You see, business is all about solving problems. That's what it is at its very first principle. You solve problems and you get paid for it. And more often than not, most problems can simply be solved through having more information. And you don't have to take my word for it. You're seeing it. Every time you open your phone, you see a new person that's selling a course, whether it's small, medium, or big creators. And the smart people with long-term visions that actually want to make money online buy these courses and mentorship programs because they know they need more information from someone who has walked the path that they want to walk to make money. Now, at first, that was something that was only reserved for the big gurus and something that only people like shout out Iman Gaji were doing. But now anyone with skill and authority in a topic can sell information on it. Now, why is this a gold rush? Well, because just like the California gold rush, there's a mad scramble. Everyone sees the opportunity, everyone's running to stake their claim, and the money flowing into info products right now is insane. But here's the catch. In every gold rush, the people who win the biggest are rarely the ones that are panning for gold. It's the ones who sell the shovels, tools, and services that make the miners successful. And that is where beginners can tap in to this info gold rush. You won't be digging for gold yourself and selling your own course. That just takes too much work. You will be selling the shovels for the people that already sell courses. So to answer your first question, what business will I leverage? Well, you will be leveraging other creators in the info product space. Small to medium-sized creators selling courses, mentorships, coaching, and programs. And why is this? Well, because first of all, it's the best way for beginners to take advantage of this info gold rush. And second of all, the supply. Since it's a real gold rush, everyone and their mother is starting to sell info. There are hundreds of thousands of creators for you to work with. And number 3, demand. Creators cannot run this business themselves sustainably. They have their hands full being the face of their brand, taking sales calls and delivering on what they promise. They're actively looking to outsource important things in their business because, as we discussed before, starting your own business from a ground up requires a lot of things, and these people just don't have the time. They need to outsource things. Now, that's only half the equation, but you still have one more question. I know I'm going to be leveraging info sellers, course sellers, whatever, but how can I actually make money? Well, I'm going to walk you through it right now. So, the info selling playbook. And now start taking notes, start paying attention. This is where it gets a little bit complicated, but I'm going to break it down to beginner level. Now, info selling is a term that I've come up with for the business model or method that I use to get to my first 10K a month. Essentially, what you do is you help creators make more money. You help course sellers sell more and get paid for it. Now, how do you help them do that? Well, to explain this, you need to understand the 3 needs of every business. All businesses need a way to get traffic or potential customers, get people in. All businesses need a way to convert that traffic into paying customers, get the people to pay. And all businesses need to make sure they're delivering for their customers, whether by making their course better or by actually being there and coaching them and trying to get them the results that they paid for. Now, this entire process is structured in the form of a funnel. And if you don't know what you're looking at here, you're looking at the customer journey, because I'm not just going to post a video on YouTube saying, hey, buy my $10,000 coaching program and expect people to buy. People need to be guided step by step from aware to interested to paying customer to loyal and advocating for this person. And that's what you're looking at right here, the business funnel, the marketing funnel, the sales funnel, whatever you want to call it. Now, every info business sells through the means of a funnel. That's why it's so crucial for you to understand this. Awareness basically means how you get people aware of you, your brand, and what you do. And gurus or info sellers or people that just sell courses or coaching, they're going to do this through their YouTube channels, Instagram Reels, or TikToks. Now, for consideration, this is how the guru or the person that sells the info is warming up the traffic and getting them to consider on what to buy by informing them about it and telling them more about it and just kind of, showing them more social proof, etc. Now, this can be done through long form content on YouTube, giving free value, maybe even free resources, or maybe even an email list. Now, conversion is where the money gets made, where most of the selling gets done. Usually happens in a sales call or a landing page. Now, this can be done through means like appointment setting, sales calls, video sales letters, and sales pages. Now, for loyalty, this is where they actually deliver the product and make sure that the customer gets results, their coaching, their mentoring, the course, the community, etc. So now that you understand funnels and the whole structure of it, let's go back to the 3 needs of every business. Every info business needs to get more traffic in order to make more money. Every info business needs to convert as much of that traffic as possible into paying customers. And every info business needs to make sure that they're delivering for their customers properly. So if you are able to provide one of these 3 needs to an info business, they will gladly pay you. So, quick question. In what stage of the funnel is money made? Based on what we just went over, awareness being how you get awareness, conversion being how they become paying customers, and loyalty being how the service is delivered. In what stage of the funnel is the money made? Well, if you answered conversion, you're right. Conversion is the most important part of any business's funnel. If customers don't convert, the creator can't make money. Yet even so, creators have their hands full focusing on awareness and loyalty, leaving very, very little focus for conversion. Why? Well, because if they can't make time for content, they simply won't get any customers to begin with. Like if they don't put their face out there consistently, they're not getting any flow of leads into their business. And if they don't make time for their customers that have already bought from them, their customers will be upset, ask for refunds, and it will hurt the business badly. They need to be there. They need to answer the questions. They need to be the mentor, the coach, etc. So this leaves them with very little time to optimize how much they convert, which is the single factor determining how much they sell and how much money they make. They literally have no time to focus on the one thing that directly makes them more money. And this is a big problem. And as we know, as I said before, business is all about solving problems. So what if you got really good at conversion? If you learned conversion skills, you would be able to come into any business, solve their biggest problem, and get paid for it. And that is what info selling is. You spend a little bit of time learning conversion skills, you do outreach to creators,
You land a client or an offer, you deliver, and you get paid for it. And then you repeat this process over and over, you get a couple more clients, and bang, you're at 10K a month. That's what I did. So think of it like this. Before you play a game, you have to know the rules. Before you start to make money, you have to spend a little bit of time learning how. And before you start trying to go and make money from courses you don't even sell with info selling, which is what I teach, you have to learn conversion skills. It's like putting on armor before going into battle. Now, with that being said, what are these conversion skills? Well, there are two main ones, sales and marketing or copywriting. But you only have to learn one to start making money. So let's talk about each and every one. First, let's talk about sales, probably the easiest and quickest one. Sales is the process of helping someone make a decision, guiding them from curiosity to clarity, and showing them why your solution is the right fit and moving them to commit. So how does this fit into info selling for creators? Well, most creators sell high ticket, which is anything worth over $2,000. Think about it. If a dropshipping mentor is selling a coaching program where he literally tells you what buttons to press inside of your business for you to make money, and he does everything for you and you just do what he says, you're guaranteed to make money. That's a pretty valuable package that people will pay a lot of money for, definitely $2,000, $3,000, or even $5,000 to $10,000. Now, these products cannot be sold through a checkout link on a random page, obviously, because they're a little bit more on the expensive side. So they need a human to truly make them see the value and give them that extra push, or in other words, a closer or a salesperson. Now, creators usually make people get on a call before selling them something expensive. They get on a call and that's when they do the selling. Now, I'll show you what this looks like later. But here's the problem with that. Creators don't have time to take their own calls, especially once they get to a certain point in their business. There comes a point where there are way too many leads booking calls, 10 to 20 per week or more. That is why they hire people that are skilled in the art of sales or a conversion skill to take their sales calls for them so they can continue working on their business. And as creators scale more and more, they will need more and more sales reps. Now, these sales reps take home a 10% commission on everything they sell. And remember, these coaching programs are usually $2,000 or more. So what you do is simple. You learn the basics of sales, which is one conversion skill, and then start taking calls for creators and closing the deals. This is what we call high ticket closing or high ticket sales. And contrary to what other people say about this, it is not a business model. That is simply a skill that you're able to leverage. So let's say you're closing for a $2,000 offer for one creator that gets 10 to 20 calls in the calendar per week. 2,000, 10 to 20 calls a week. This means that you would make $200 per deal you close, which is not bad for a 30-minute call. 230 minutes is pretty good. Now, let's say you only close 5 out of those 10 to 20 calls, which is really, really bad numbers. So if you're like really horrible at sales, this is how much money you can make. That week, you made $1,000 in 2.5 hours of work because each call was literally 30 minutes that you closed. That is insane. Now, what if you were selling for an offer that got more calls, 20 to 30 calls, 30 to 40 calls a week? What if you got better at closing and your close rates went up, and instead of closing 5 out of these 10 to 20 calls, you closed 10 out of 20, 10 out of 15? What if you sold for multiple creators so you were able to get a lot of calls coming into your calendar that you get 10% of? Inexperienced closers make an average of 5 to 15K a month, and experienced closers make north of 20K per month. Now, you can also do appointment setting, which is simply managing all the leads that message the creator's profile. I don't know if you've ever seen gurus or creators say, DM me the word sales, DM me the word dropshipping on Instagram, and then you DM them and then someone answers you. That's an appointment setter. Now, the whole point of the appointment setter is to get them to book a call with the creator, get the leads to book a call with the creator so that the closer can then close them. And appointment setters get 5% on every sale from calls that they book. And as a quick side note, every single appointment setter that I've ever seen, and I've been in this space for 3 years, is literally a beginner. It is the beginner entry point to literally anything online business is appointment setting. It's the thing that anyone can do, literally just text people on your phone. Now, for some examples of what this actually looks like, here we have a guy, a potential prospect, we'll say, that has around 20K subscribers. He got 1.2K views on his video, and he gets awareness or traffic through his YouTube channel. There is a link in his description which sends them to this sales page or this landing page where he tells you to book a call and gives you sort of a free resource or a free training video if you do book this call. So you're in the consideration stage. Now, once you fill out this form and you actually book the sales call with him, you are entering the conversion stage because you are going to be getting on a sales call. But who do you think is taking this sales call? It's not this guy. This guy's busy. It is a sales rep or a high ticket closer, and he's taking 10% of every call that comes through this calendar. So now let's talk about the second conversion skill, marketing and copywriting. Now this one takes a while longer to learn, but if you do, you'll be capable of doing a lot more. Copywriting and marketing is the art of turning attention into action using words, stories, and psychology to attract the right people, earn their trust, and move them to buy. The very first high leverage skill that I learned was copywriting, and it got me my first big client. It's also where I learned the most about online business. So what I went ahead and did is I asked ChatGPT all the different things that you become capable of doing with literally just learning this one skill. And this is what it said. I ain't reading all of this, but you can see here how many ways that you can help creators just by having this skill. Like high converting sales pages, VSLs, sequences, ad copy, DM scripts, creating funnels, rewriting offers, increasing show rates with thank you pages, launching new offers, just so many different things that you can do, like newsletter, testimonials, and case studies. So many things that you can do just by having the skill of marketing and copywriting. So to give you an example, if a business's funnel is new, has a lot of gaps, and can be improved, they are in need of a copywriter and marketer who understands human psychology and the foundations of advertising. I'm going to give you an example. This guy right here, Caleb's Vault, he's got quite a bit of decent views on this, 4.36K followers. But the problem is that his funnel is literally just his YouTube channel, and then he just sends them to a form. There isn't enough substance here. He's confusing his audience. His funnel is leaking cash. He is confusing his audience. They don't know exactly what he sells and how he can help them because he doesn't have a proper sales funnel. He would benefit from a VSL, higher converting YouTube videos, a thank you page so people show up to his call, emails to educate his audience, a lead magnet, and these are all things that you can easily do even if you're slightly knowledgeable on copywriting and marketing. But I mean, who can blame him? He is not an expert in marketing and sales. He's an expert in YouTube automation, as you can see here. 60K in 1 month with one YouTube channel. That's his niche. That's what he's good at. And that's true for most creators. They are experts in whatever information they sell, not in marketing, sales, funnel building, or copywriting. And that's why info selling is so powerful. By learning conversion skills, you literally become walking value. And the best part is that these skills are not difficult to learn at all. With the rise of AI, marketing and copywriting has become easier than ever before. And sales is nice and simple. You learn the basics, you get experience, you get better, and get paid while you do it. That is literally how it works. I've had a 16-year-old kid come into my paid program and start getting his first interviews within literally 4 days of joining, and literally 3 weeks in, he's already on an offer. You just learn a bit and get paid as you learn and get experience. Now, as a side note, for my personal experience with both of these skills, because I come from a unique perspective, because a lot of people will just go deep into sales and just teach that. And a lot of people will go deep into marketing or copy and teach that. I did both, and I made money with both. And I will say marketing was kind of like the gateway into all the online business knowledge that I have. But sales was a lot easier to make money with. So I would personally recommend, if you want to make a lot of money really fast and you're decent at talking to people, to get into sales. But if you're sort of like a nerd and you want to sit behind your desk and just kind of like type away and learn marketing and learn this high leverage skill that can make you a lot of money in the long run, do the marketing and sales route. You're going to become really valuable. Now, let's talk about the roadmap for you to make your first $1,000 online. With that being said, how info selling works is simple. You leverage existing information businesses that already have traffic, and you simply help them convert more of that traffic by learning sales and or marketing. So these are the steps that you will follow as a complete beginner to make your first $1,000 online in 3 months or less. So pay attention here, because these are the steps. It doesn't get more complicated than this. This is all you have to do. Step 1 is putting on the armor. This is, you will either learn marketing, copywriting, or sales. Number 2, after you've learned, you are marching into battle. You will spend 2 hours a day reaching out to creators using a value-based approach and make them an offer they have to respond to so that you can compete with all the other people that are doing outreach. And number 3, you are going to start the battle after you've marched into it. You're going to get on a call with them, be your most humble but confident and convicted self, and land this client. Remember, make them an offer that they can't refuse. And once you land this client, you are now conquering the land and winning the battle. You are going to deliver on what you promised and get paid for it. So if you were to do this and take these 4 steps, you would be taking advantage of this information economy in the most beginner-friendly and smartest way to start making money online. You wouldn't have to start your own business. You'd simply learn timeless skills that will never leave you, die out, or be replaced. And we are in the start of this gold rush, meaning it is not yet saturated. The market is massive, with the online education industry being projected to reach $1 trillion by 2030. Now, this all sounds really, really exciting, but I'm going to give you a fair warning. you'd probably be a little bit frustrated at first trying to make this work. Now, this might happen to you because learning the skills from free resources like YouTube can only give you the basic knowledge. It most likely won't be enough for you to feel confident enough in your skills to the point where you can try and go deliver it for other people. The other thing is that there are tens of thousands and even hundreds of thousands of creators looking for your skills. The market is there. However, if you don't know how to find them, it's going to feel like there aren't that many to go around and you won't know who to reach out to. Also, you will be sending outreach blindly without a clear system or strategy. So people will either ignore you or you will self-sabotage and decide to stop because you're just sending outreach and not getting any results. Also, being a beginner means you won't have a very strong idea of what to do with your clients after you landed. It would be trial and error and a lot of guessing. Obviously, this is not all like roses and unicorns. Like, things can be hard. There can be some problems that you face. But if you can solve these problems, the reward is definitely worth it. When you learn conversion skills, 100K a year is the norm. And this is much faster than something like getting into plumbing, like I said before. So if you've ever wanted to be early on something big, this is it. Like Franco here, who was a full-time mortgage broker, did not have a lot of time, was very, very busy. But yet he was still able to make an extra 3K a month with info selling in his second month as pocket money and increase his sales skill for mortgages. Or Mo, who I mentioned before, he was a complete beginner when he started, not knowing a single thing, and still made 4.2K in less than 10 weeks through sales. Or even Alexis, who wanted to start his own coaching business and scaled it to 20K a month his first month, literally his first month, using the conversion skills that he learned from me. And why he was able to do this is because he already had an audience. Chances are you guys won't have an audience, so you won't be able to get crazy, insane results like this. But you might even get opportunities as fast as Luca did. And he got his first interviews within literally 4 days. And while this doesn't happen commonly, this is what's possible. You guys can see here in the Discord, this guy is saying that he just landed his interview for a closing opportunity after only like 30 DMs. Now, this is an old screenshot because Luca now, he's one of the kids that I was talking about earlier, that he's 16 and now he's literally on an appointment setting offer and he's already started to make money within his third week. It is insane. Now, the question is, how can you get results like this? Well, the way I see it is you have two options. The first option is to take the info I've given you in this video and try to figure it out by yourself. That is definitely a viable option. And if you feel that it's best suited for you, please go ahead and do that. However, know that you might find it hard to learn conversion skills to a degree you're confident in. You're going to have trouble finding who to reach out to, and you're going to get ignored because you don't know what to say in your outreach, and you're not going to know exactly what to do after you've landed a deal. Now, I know this because I was in this position. And back then, I wish that there was someone that was in the position I wanted to be in to tell me exactly what to do and teach me the ropes. Someone that I could trust and guarantee me success. And that is the motivation behind why I'm offering something very, very special, something I've never seen anyone offer before, and something I wish that my past self would have had. And I'm really serious, like off script for a minute, I'm really serious. I have never seen anyone offer this, so I figured I'd be the first one to like stand out from my competitors and offer this right here, because I genuinely do wish I had this in the past. I will coach you personally until you make money online. There's no time limit on this. And then once you make money online, I'm going to help you deliver for your clients afterwards. So you're never lost. You're never going to face any of these problems. I do not care how long it takes. There is no time limit. I am simply going to be with you until you make money online. It doesn't matter whether you want to learn sales or marketing. I've made money with both. You will get your hand held till you start making money online, where I will go in excruciating detail for everything you need to know and do. Now that's your second option, joining my mentorship, which produced the results from the students that you just saw. Because when you do it with help from someone that has recently walked the path that you want to walk, it will go infinitely faster. Now this offer effectively means that you are guaranteed to succeed by working with me, because I'm literally not going to fucking leave you until you make money. So you may be wondering by now, what's the catch? Well, I will admit that there are two catches to this. The first catch is that I can't coach too many people at once. That would take up way too much of my time, and I wouldn't be able to deliver enough value to everyone. I'd probably miss some calls, etc., etc. I'm only taking 5 people. That's how I can ensure the maximum amount of volume without getting too many people in. And I'm going to say that again, I'm only taking 5 people. So once those 5 spots are filled, this entire video will get taken down, because if I leave it up, more people are going to come in and apply for something that's not available. Number 2, I am very selective with who I take on. I won't be taking on just anyone. I'll only be taking the people who are genuinely ready to move forward in their lives and are not going to take this lightly. This is not for someone that's just going to join in, try to get a little bit of info, feel good about themselves, and dip. This is for someone that genuinely wants to lock in and change their lives. Now, with this in mind, if that sounds like you, here's your next steps, and pay attention. I have prepared an application form for you to fill out to see if you qualify for this opportunity. And that form is below. So fill out the form below, and after the form is filled, book an application call with me. In this call, I will simply determine if you're the right fit. I'm gonna get on the call with you myself, and if you're the right fit, if I think that everything works, we're gonna move forward. And if not, I'm gonna do my best to point you in the right direction. So you're not really losing anything from this call. Go ahead and fill out the form and book a call with me right now.